This game is rated T for ages 13 and up. For more information, please go to esrb.org. Hello everyone, KirbyVolt here, but you can call me KV. Welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man ZX Advent. On the last episode, we went all the way through this here control center, went to the top of it. It seems to be built upon the remains of Serpent's Tower, I suppose, from the first game, you know, Serpent Company, Slither Inc.'s main building. It was on fire, and now it is not on fire. Hopefully it's not on fire. We stopped that from happening. Today, we're going to be heading just straight to our next level, so let's head over there. We're going to be heading to the Scrapyard. So one thing I do want to address is that I do love this game a lot. I feel like in the last few episodes I've been really jokey and poking fun at some of the game, but that's not coming from a place of, like, disgust. That is coming from a place of love. I love this game a lot. Yeah, it's corny, but parts of it are corny, but I think a lot of Mega Man games are, being fair. Still, I really like this game. That said, this is probably my least favorite stage in the game. So, sorry about that. This is an interesting stage. Unfortunately, my dislike of it doesn't have to do with our initial playthrough of the stage. So, if you're just playing to beat the game, don't worry. If you're playing to complete and do everything in the game, yeah, this stage gets a bit, annoying. But anyways, let's find out what's going on with our mission here.
What is this place? There's junk everywhere.
That's a scrapyard. There are mountains of discarded machines. Until only recently, they were all buried in the snow. Imagine that!
I don't see any snow.
The heat from the machines melted it all. Machines that were thrown away because they were supposedly broken became mavericks and started working again.
Scrap that just starts working again?
That's the reason I had you two come here. Whoever is controlling the scraps should be here too. Take them down and scrap the mavericks. It is a scrapyard after all. So, it's not very apparent outside of that line and this area right here. All of the world stages are technically using assets from the first ZX game. We saw that last episode with the Control Center, which was using assets of the final stage, which was Slither Inc. Here, we're seeing assets use of Area F from Mega Man ZX1, with a Wonder Panorama area, which is a really cool ice area, but it melted now, so that sucks. Anyways, most of this place is indoors. So we're actually not going to see that. So, unless you're familiar with this particular sprite sets for terrain, you kind of don't know this is supposed to be Area F. I mean, Mikhail also tells you, hey, there was snow here and it melted. But other than that... Oh, hello, zombies. Other than that, your only other thing to go off of is the one opening shots. And the idea of that, I think, is that basically now that Area F has been used for its purpose, which it was in the first ZX game, basically machines started to take over it and kind of go rampant, probably because of the Model W that was originally stored there. And because the machines produce heat, the ice melted. So, yeah, I guess climate change is still a problem in the future. That is not fun to think about, really. So I won't think about it. Anywho's, we have these zombie robots. Basically what happens is that you destroy them the one time, they go back down into their crouch, and then you destroy them another time and they actually get destroyed. They're a little annoying to deal with sometimes, but they're not the worst thing in the world. Now, the one other thing to note right here is this particular, this bunch of scrap. As you can see, it pulls you down. If we switch to Model P, or rather, Shernak, and if we look at the bottom screen, the bottom screen will actually give us indicators of where this, stuff goes. And can you die here? No, you cannot. Anyway, so It's not necessarily a death trap, it's just something there to be a little annoying. It's not the worst thing in the world, in all honesty, but it's something to be looking out for, especially your first time here. There is something we can get later that will make this a lot easier to traverse, but we don't have it yet, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Another thing, too, is that with Sharnak, you can actually see a map of the area. Not as detailed one, but still a map in a sense. And this place is a bit confusing. It's meant to kind of be a maze. So it is a little obnoxious to traverse sometimes. But don't worry, I know what I'm doing, because I've been here so many times I kind of know this place like the back of my hand now. Like, look at that extra life. That's nice to have. With these levers right here, we gotta switch to Sharnak anywho's, step on them for good measure to make sure they go down all the way, and then get through the spikes. I mean, you could do that too if you want those to still be up, but we don't need to do that. So, future me, if you want, bring out the dual layout so you can see both the top screen and the bottom screen. I know we don't do that often, but let's take a look-see. There's one other thing I actually do want to point out, is that the actual map that you see with pretty much anyone who isn't Sharnak or the other models, there's something you can do with this. Say hello to Cursor Thing. This Cursor Thing exists in the Legacy Collection because I don't know how else you do touchscreens controls that way. If you were to touch this icon right here, this actually shows you a much more detailed lineup surrounding of the map. So you can tell that this is a 3-tile wide area. Once I switch to Sharnak, you can't see it anymore. But basically, it kind of gives you an idea of how big the area is. It's a really handy feature. Not something we're going to be seeing a lot of. You can take away the dual screens up now, future me. But it is nice. And also, speaking of nice, hitting these checkpoints and potentially starting a lot of them will be helpful. That one is fine. Well, actually, no, that one's not fine. We should hit this one. Remember that these take up EC, 100 of them, and then we can just be on our merry way. And now we can just teleport back to this particular starting point whenever we feel like it. And it will come in handy later, I am sure. For now, let's, we'll get some E-crystals back on this lovely thing. So, we have this garbage that's falling. If it hits us, we will fall into the pits. Easiest way around this right now is for us to take out Chrono, have him sit there, doing nothing, and then slow the garbage down. With the garbage slowed down, we can make it through here pretty easily. This will also stop, like, the enemies from being obnoxious. I hate those bouncy enemies a lot, so I'm happy about that. And let's see, can we make it? Yay! There is a way to disable this garbage, and we're going to take care of that. Because that garbage is very annoying. I mean, it is a scrapyard and everything, but it's still annoying. So just take out Chrono again. I'm surprised I had enough BM to do that. I mean, you can destroy the garbage, but the point is you want to get through it. So, there will be a few areas in this level where you have these doors to choose from. Basically, the one that is not the same color is the right way to go, but we want to pick one of these doors, because it will lead us into this area, and this area is very handy. In this area, we just fall down this right here, very slowly. If I jump, I will go back up. I don't want to do that, so I have to just kind of... And then we hit this. Guess what we just did? We turned off the garbage. Everything is great now, so there's no more garbage going through those chutes, and we will be just dandy going forward. So get that, and there we go. No more garbage, so we don't have to worry about that. These doors do go to other places sometimes as well, but for the most part, they go back to the garbage chute. So I think this one goes back to the garbage chute. Oh, it doesn't, actually. The garbage control room, I should say. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, this one goes down, and then there's something below here, but we can't get it yet, because we need a certain power. So, we're not going to do that. So, green door is where we should go, and luckily they do give us a lot of restocks during the stage, which is helpful. Especially because then we have this place. Once again, we have some choices to make here. We can take this door up here, we can take this door down here, or we can find the other colored door that isn't this color. We're going to go in this door at the very least, because by going in here, we will find... What's in this place again? Oh. I don't know what to say to that. I'm just a moron. Okay. That's what I get for not checking my notes in that door. I know the other door. There's 2 doors in that area. So, future me... Not necessarily skip, because it's not too long to skip. I'd say more of a speed up. Speed up and just, you know... Like when I did that silly thing where I was discussing the Mega Man timeline, and I don't know, did that land with people? Maybe it didn't land with people. I thought it was funny. Maybe it wasn't, so I'm sorry about that. I am recording a lot of these way in advance, so I can't really know what comments are going to be like. Anyways, this door, we find this dude, James. He's a recycling hunter. He makes his living salvaging. I bet you love the smell of salvage in the morning. But, okay, he brings me some parts to recycle, and I'll turn that to something. Whoever was at the localization team that day, A+. A+ on that. Something. You may read that and be like, what? English doesn't sound like that. Yes, it does. If you talk really fast, then yes, it does. So he wants us to find some parts, and we have that quest now activated. This will actually help us out, as there are some parts we can get. We can't get all of them right now. So, for instance, one of the parts is right there. We're not going to get that, because we can't get all the parts right now anyway, so there's no point to. But we will pass by one of them on our way to the boss. So once we get Shernak back out, we can then... I'm always nervous with this jump, because basically you need to jump, hit up, and hope that you actually reach it. I'm always worried I'm not going to reach it, and then that's going to be a problem. But luckily, I usually reach it. Though I have had a few times where I missed it pretty badly. I use Chrono there only to basically help myself out, just to be safe. This area, you need to use Shernak exclusively. Those are not platforms. Those are just these are just grabby things. Grabby things. The most technical of terms here. And another extra life. This stage is really nice about extra lives, which is very helpful. See, I like that. That's how I miss grabbing something like that. Luckily, we were still at the very beginning of this particular area, so that's not a problem. I will use Chrono again, because we need to get something that is spikes. And hey, again, this stage is very generous with the extra lives. Playing this stage normally isn't too bad. I mean, if you don't know the door thing, yes, that can get obnoxious, because here we have some more doors once again. We're not going to even bother these other doors, because I believe one leads to the chute, and one leads somewhere else. And that somewhere else we can't even do anything about right now. So we're just gonna go into this one and be on our merry way. So the stage, yeah, the stage can definitely be annoying, but its more annoying factor is when you have to revisit it, essentially. Which we will do during this playthrough. And you'll learn the fun things about what happens when you decide to come back here. So, new mechanic is these blocks here. We can just use them to get stuff, easy peasy. Obviously, their color indicates what direction they're going to go, or basically what state they're in. And we can use them to also get... to somehow miss hitting that. Oh, don't be careful though, they can crush you. That's not fun. Don't have that happen. And then we could use our humanoid form to get through that if we wanted to. Don't need to. So let's instead go up here. care of this bat jerk. I think we need to hit this one down. I might be wrong on that. I always get this mixed up. I was wrong on it. My bad. Yeah, this particular area is probably where the bulk of the frustration of the stage can come from. But I will try to walk us through it pretty simply so that it's not too much of a hassle. So we do need to keep going up through here, but unfortunately our next pathway is blocked by the block. It's blocked by the block. But we can get a titanium alloy. That's one of the 3 items we need for the recycling quest that we started earlier. If we go in here, change to Bucky, get that guy in fire, and we hit the switch. Easy peasy. And then, we can just go right on up here. Also be careful of that, and this enemy in particular is very rude. If it gets you against the wall, it will squash you, and you die. Why? I don't know. It just happens sometimes. I have lost a lot of lives to that particular enemy, which is very silly. But then again, I like silly things. Maybe not death per se. Death is not very silly. But hey, silly ways to die in games is still silly. So with that up, we got here. Now we want to actually hit the switch one more time before we go in this door. That way, when we come in here, these blocks are down. Otherwise, they'd be up on the ceiling. Hit that. If we so wanted to, we could take Queenie, our new ability that we got last episode, go up here, hug the wall, transform into something that can actually wall climb, go over here, blow that up, and then just grumble at this data disk we can't get, because we don't have the ability to get that yet. The game, I reward you for exploring. The game also, but not that much. It's fine. It's still fun. And one last thing, before we go through here, we gotta hit that one more time. And there we go. With that all done, we can now climb all the way up through this chamber right here, and that ends off this section. However, there is one more thing we can get. But we don't have the ability to get it yet. So we're not going to. You thought I was going to go somewhere with that, right? Basically, use your humanoid form to get out of there. This area is actually pretty different with the block setup like this from you coming from that vantage point. So you actually can approach some different areas. And as you see right here, this is the one area you can reach by doing this whole block puzzle and then leaving without actually finishing it. Downside is we have to do that whole block puzzle again to get back over this way. So we're just gonna keep on moving. And what do you know it? We're right here before the boss. Awesome. Awesome blossom. So, stage, not overly that bad. My distaste for it comes from stuff later.
I see you pushed your way through all of those Mavericks.
Also, the music is not terrible, but it's not one of my favorite. It's definitely one of my least favorite tracks in the game. Sorry.
To get a special front row seat to watch me perform.
That said, this is probably one of my favorite bosses in the game.
That's pretty mega of you, Mega Man Model A. I'm Voltron. I play the part of the prince, who kisses Model W's and wakes them up.
There's a Model W in here, too?
And this is the Model W saga of the story, Ash. Model W's are everywhere.
Not so fast. That's where the VIP seats are. I'm afraid you can't go in there. What do you say we start the show?
Honestly, you know what? Future me, if you can, look up how this guy talks in the Japanese dialogue. I'm super curious, because I love the characterization they gave him for English. He is basically a rock star, which I think is hilarious.
And you'll sing the vocals. I'm looking forward to the finale, as you scream your last breath.
You sing the vocals. Scream. Alright, Voltron! Not that Voltron, this Voltron. He's an interesting boss. What we gotta be careful of is that when he is strumming his guitar, yes, that's his weapon, he can summon these zombie bots. And we want to try to take them out. We also want to try to take out those things that come out at the top. And, you know, preferably stay away from him. But, you know, sometimes beggars can't be choosers. He can also try to suck you in. He'll throw some garbage. Be careful of that, so just kind of stay put. Until you can get over and take care of some stuff. And he can also try to just whack you with his guitar. Because of course he can. And that's his main attack right there, is that big area of effect attack he has, which is actually really cool. I do like it. It's an interesting proposition to do for an attack. Now, when he does the climax move, if the zombie bots are still out, they will get enraged and they will try to attack more aggressively. So we gotta be careful of that. There is also one attack that I'm surprised he has not done yet that is detrimental. But I mean, if he keeps just jumping into me, then I guess it's fine. There it is! I got hit. But I'll explain it when he eventually probably gets me with it. Maybe he won't. Well, he didn't get me with that time. I am gonna just be safe, use safety sub-tank. Here we go. If you get caught in that, that prevents you from attacking for a while. Not too long, depending on how long you've been inside the Circle of Doom, but it can be a bit annoying. Other than that, I think we've seen all the attacks he can do. Oh, right, and if you can't attack and the zombie bots come near you, it's kind of like, uh-oh. And the whole point is that because you're usually hiding in these corners to stay away from him flying around, he's going to try to get you with that one attack to prevent you from attacking. But hey, luckily we have Ash's lovely bouncy charge shots, which can really help out a lot. Take care of this, and then just wiggle out of that, so we can finally attack again. If you just hold the attack button, once you can start charging, that's how you know you can attack again. He's gonna hit us with the garbage! Okay, he missed. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm playing on the edge right now. There we go. Okay, and so this is something you'll probably always see when you fight Voltron.
What? This was supposed to be Mega's death concert, not mine!
Well, you know, someone died, it was a death concert, you're welcome. Let me explain that thing we just saw really quickly. If you remember from the first CX game, there were levels that you could beat the bosses at. There was level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And basically, beating up the higher levels mean that you got a higher amount of biometal power from when you defeated them, because you got the biometals from the bosses in that game. That determined how much stuff you had to repair later on. And basically, the way those worked were don't touch the weak points, and you get a high level. In this game, they have the metal system. The metal system's different is basically there are different ways that the game wants you to beat the boss, and they go from bronze to gold. So, almost usually, as if you're using Model A against Voltron, you will pretty much always get a bronze medal for this particular one, and that will give you your clue of that the metal system is in play. We won't be touching those for most of the main playthrough. I want to save that for potential post-game stuff, because taking on the bosses again is something we haven't even gotten to, because obviously we got a bronze medal, and if we want to get the silver and gold medal, we gotta be able to fight him again, and currently it's his death concert, so, you know.
Ah!
We left a nice hole in his back, and then he made a nice big spherical explosion. And then somehow we got over here. Which now gives us Voltron's data. Or we'll just call him Tron. There's nothing dangerous coming up, so we'll be fine. Look at how dangerous this room is. Very dangerous. Oh, this is dangerous, though.
I hear it. The discarded machines. The mechanoids. Their voices of sadness, of pain, of anger.
You should get that checked out.
All food for Model W.
Oh, right.
Pandora!
Even as you awoke, destiny had already been set in motion.
What the heck are you talking about?
The time will come when you shall know everything, and you will be driven to despair.
Pandora. Does she know my secret?
That you want to become king of the pirates? That's not a secret at all.
Huh. She took Model W with her. She's definitely odd.
Did you... Nothing against the Sage Trinity, but did they not know about what happened in the country where ZX1 took place? Actually, they probably did, now that I think about it.
Good work. The Mavericks in that area seem to be settling down. Mission accomplished. Don't forget to submit a report.
You got it. I like Master Mikhail. He's probably my favorite. But before we can do anything, we're going to talk about how to use Tron's abilities. Not that Tron. This Tron. Somebody's done something to this room. I think they just put an obstacle in our way, Model A. How are we supposed to get past that? Yes, I know. You can morph from that Voltron and use his ability. Voltron can scale walls. You should be able to grab onto that counterweight and pull it down. Voltron can also hover. To use hover, press and hold the jump button in midair. It looks like it uses up some of your BM gauge, though. In other words, be careful hovering for long periods of time. So we'll switch to him. Here he is. Yeah, he can do this. Now, he says scale the walls. It doesn't... I think that's an interesting translation. It's not scale. It is that he can hold place to the walls, and he has weight to him. So if you ever wanted to stay in one spot on a wall, Tron's your guy. Otherwise, this is his main attack. I like it. It's fun. His charge attack, I guess, is powerful, but it is kind of... It's very, very specific. I like his main attack more. And of course, the best thing about Tron is that he can hover. It does use up your BM gauge rather quickly, but compared to Queenie, who we got last time, this is a much better deal comparatively. Queenie is great for getting to new heights. Tron, on the other hand, is great for traversability. You can get places pretty fast with him as long as you have enough BM gauge, and also you can do that in the air, which is very helpful because it's a nice area of effect attack, so it gets everything from the behind you, above you, below you, and of course, to your immediate fronts. And he also is jamming his head all the time. That's just groovy, man. So let's submit our mission reports. We get 300 EC for that. And that is going to be our episode for today. So, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Let's Play Mega Man ZX Advent. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button below. If you want to see more content from me, please consider subscribing. Mega Man ZX Advent was originally released for the Nintendo DS in 2007, so it might be a bit hard to come by right now. However, in 2020, in 2000, yeah, the 7 years before the game was released, they did a re-release. No. Currently out there is the Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection. The Legacy Collection has all the Zero games as well as the 2 Mega Man ZX games. It's a perfect way to play these, and there's also some nice quality of life features that will make the games even more approachable compared to how I've been playing it so far. I would highly recommend picking that iteration up, because it will show Capcom that you want to see more games like this, more Mega Man games in general, and hey, maybe more Inti creates Mega Man games in the future. That would be pretty rad. So I highly recommend picking that up. But of course also, the main developers of this game were Inti Creates, so I highly recommend you check out their own current work as well. which I believe Lewis Avenger X2 is on sale now. It's very similar in terms of style to this game, so I'd give it a look-see if you can. Most importantly though, please have a wonderfully great day, and I will see you all on the next one. Until then, ciao.
A-Train!